James Harden and Joel Embiid just had a sensational first game as teammates against Minnesota, and here's what I found interesting from that game. Hey yo, what's good with y'all? My name is Will and welcome back to Will's So Chill Hoops. The Philadelphia 76ers destroyed the T-Wolves in James Harden's debut as a Sixer, 113-102, and James Harden play was also impressive, 27 points on only 12 shots to go along with 12 assists and 8 rebounds. But him and Joel Embiid looked amazing together, with Embiid dropping 34 points of his own on 18 shots with 10 rebounds, Harden also having 6 of his 12 assists going to Joel Embiid. The two were extremely efficient in this game, both shooting over 55% from the field, and you know they got to that free throw line with 22 free throw attempts between the two for 19 makes. After the game, Joel Embiid said this was the most wide open he's probably ever been in his career, getting easy shot opportunities, and he also said that he was in awe of Harden's shot creation in the fourth quarter, with it being something that he's never had before on his team. So let's look at the film and see what exactly that looks like. First of all, the obvious two-man game between these two. We knew coming in that this was going to be a force. This action begins with an off-ball screen for Harden by Tybal into an Embiid dribble handoff. Embiid slips while Pat Bev trails Harden after being hit by the initial screen. You'll see Vanderbilt stunt off of his man, but Harden stays patient, penetrating to the middle, forcing Cat to step up, and you see who that leaves down low. Embiid doesn't finish the alley-oop, he does catch it and he brings it down and he scores off the opportunity. Joel's never been a lob kind of guy like that anyway, but it doesn't matter, he's gonna go up and get it and he'll get 2 points. Not the flashy way, but the Embiid way. Earlier in the game, they ran the same action, but this time Embiid rolls rather than slipping. The screen again gives Harden the straight line drive to the rim where he penetrates, stunned from D-Lo, but he keeps moving. And this time James Harden took the floater with Towns backing off, making sure he didn't give up anything to Joel. Against drop coverage, these two are forcing the big man to make a decision on what they have to give up. But what really makes this two-man game scary is Joel Embiid's ability to shoot the ball from anywhere on the court consistently. This time against the Towns drop coverage, Embiid doesn't roll against the crowded lane. Instead, he pops out and takes the three-point shot assisted by Harden. This time with the action beginning up top, you'll see the defense create a three-man wall at the basket anticipating Embiid's roll, but with Towns focused on James Harden, he delivers the pass to Joel for that free throw line jumper, an easy shot opportunity. No reason to force a roll into 3 defenders when you are a great shooter at the mid-range area. These two can run the two-man game against switch coverage extremely well too, because against the vast majority of NBA teams, they are going to create some serious mismatches. Here Towns jumps to his left of the screen to switch where Ant should stay attached to Joel on a roll. He doesn't, which was a miscommunication from the defense, so the only person between Joel and the basket is D'Angelo Russell. Just give him 2 points already. However, even if Ant did stay attached here, that's a mismatch that you can still do something with. And don't think that Joel Embiid on a smaller defender is the only mismatch that is created, because most big men on the perimeter against James Harden is also a mismatch with his shot creation ability. So drop coverage, switch coverage, drop coverage with an entire wall at the basket, they tried all that and none of it worked to stop this duo. And look how much attention is drawn up top here to James Harden. That is 3 defenders in the area, with Russell telling someone to get Embiid, who's dropped down to the free throw line. Harden gets it to him and Joel shows his great mid-range shooting ability over the defense. By the way, if you're enjoying the video up to this point, a like would be very appreciated. It does help me out a lot as a creator. I also like this lineup for Philly offensively because it creates a ton of spacing for the best post scorer in the game. He doesn't get deep in the post here, but still, no double teams came his way, and he was able to go one-on-one where he likes. This isn't really a change with Harden coming in, as it's been like this more often this year. I'm just highlighting how defenses are going to have serious trouble come playoff time trying to send double teams on Embiid post-ups. Because before, teams could easily double off Ben Simmons as he was not a threat offensively from outside, making him a poor fit next to a dominant post scorer who likes being in post-up situations. Now teams are gonna have to send a double while also having near perfect timing on their defensive rotations as well, because that will be the only way to double Joel Embiid and not give up an open opportunity for another player. Another thing that will be beneficial come playoff time is having a star who can create offense on the court at all times as long as minutes are staggered correctly by Rivers. Against Minnesota last night, we saw this with them both starting, then Embiid went out. When Embiid came back in, Harden came out, and eventually they were back on the court together. When Joel Embiid is off the floor, James Harden will be there creating offense with his shot creation ability. And he also creates offense for teammates as well with his high-level playmaking ability. He drives inside, drawing defenders here before kicking it out to Harris with a perfect pass into the shooter's pocket. That is textbook. And for those who are worried about him off the ball, he makes the smart basketball play here by relocating to the corner while Harris drives with the ball, giving Harris another option, which he takes and Harden hits the three. The help from Edwards at the wing is what made Harden relocate, along with this being a much easier pass to make with him directly lined up in the corner. Plus the defensive rotations would eventually cover the wing in that passing lane. It's a smart play by a smart basketball player. But the combination of these two star players and Joel Embiid and James Harden was an incredible fit in this game, and I expect to see them continuing to play well together. Their games certainly complement each other and make the game of basketball easier for each other. Just like Embiid said, he doesn't think he's ever been more open in his career than he was last night. That is the effect of playing with an elite shot creating guard, and it goes both ways. Harden has never played with a center this dominant on rolls and slips to the basket that can also shoot, making defenses value the threat of the pop by Embiid. I would say that most teams in the NBA try using drop coverage to counter pick and roll, but we saw in this game that Harden and Embiid have so many ways to pick apart a drop coverage defensive scheme. Even with a loaded lane and a wall, there simply was no answer, but they'll play more teams that run different defensive schemes, even some drop coverage that sees more help to prevent initial penetration from a defender on the wing. So rather than stunts like Minnesota did, just full-on help from these defenders against James Harden. These two are extremely fun to watch, and I can't wait to see how other teams attempt to counter their two-man game. Now, since you made it to the end of the video, I assume you enjoyed your viewing experience. So here's another great video you can check out about DeMar DeRozan and how he just recently made NBA history. But for now, I'm out of here, and remember, keep on hooping.